we have feature reports. So you can define it any way that you want to do, but the most important thing that you need to understand after your survey, after your data collection, all right, there is a way we use our data. Okay. The most one that is known by most analysts is we create a report whereby we are summarizing the reports, we are doing our graphs, our charts, our maps, some are also building applications that are, converting those reports into digital form and all that so that they are able to be dynamic, right?
Okay.
That is what usually happens. But within that flow, there's usually a need, depending with your workflow and depending with your needs. There are times you just need a copy of that form in hard copy. All right. We understand that the tool was used to, a digital tool was used to create or to collect data, but there are times for purposes of maybe recording, record keeping, for purposes of statutory obligations, you would want some of your data to be in hard copy or to be in report form. All right. This, you'll see this majorly with people that work in the property estate, property and estate industries. And also compliance. If you are doing revenue collection, these are things like municipalities, you would want to have a copy. Now, why do you want to have a copy, a feature report? A feature report, one of the things that makes a feature report to be desirable is that presenting a row of data in Excel sometimes might not really work well, especially when you have statutory obligations. Right? Let's say you have a property and maybe let's say it was mapped through ArcGIS. It was a land management system. And this person wants a legal document of the same, but all the data was collected through a mobile tool. So how do we present that legal document? A legal document needs to have a format. All right? Like a certificate, it requires to have a format. You cannot just say, oh, I went for this course, I got certified, and then the only thing that you can show is a row of data with your details. In statutory terms, it's good, but in the legal world, it might not mean much. That's why you need things like feature reports. Number two, when you talk about these feature reports, let me talk about, I'll draw something here. Okay. So it can take any form, all right? It can be a table, it can be a document. Technically, the feature report capability inside Survey123 allows you to customize your reports. They call it reports, but I like to think of it as the different documents that you might require. Right? Like let's say, for example, you registered online. How will your invoice or what will show that you have registered? You need some form of document, a legal document. What will show that you made some payment? You need some form of physical receipt, payment receipt for you to show. Okay. And this is usually maybe for purposes of filing, like in our organization, there are certain things that will not be approved if you don't have that legal document. All right. Yes. So there are two types of feature reports. All right. There are two types of feature reports, and the use can be whatever it's tied to your creativity. Okay. It can be anything. So under feature reports, you have two types of reports. Okay. You have a normal report template, or you can just call it individual. Just call them feature report, individual feature
So individual feature will have like each collected record.
Each record results to an individual report.
Okay.
So if you have 15 records, you end up with 15 reports.
Reports.
For example, yes, like I think we had something here from our last session. Like this here.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm just going to pick randomly. Let's say pick 11.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, this is not the output. Just a minute. Let me look for the PDF. Okay, let me just explain this. So,
okay, please.
You have an individual feature report, okay?
Okay.
And then you have a summary report.
Okay.
Let's agree this before we start breaking them down.
Yes.
Summary report. I hope my handwriting is getting better. I'm also learning to use this new feature.
No problem.
It's an investment that we did after doing a lot of quality control, and we also go for this train of trainers, and some of the things we pick there are really wonderful. That's why we are trying to implement them. Anyway, so an individual report, just like the name suggests, it will present individual record as a document, as a single document, or as a single report. And technically, no analysis is ongoing here. It's just they're just transferring whatever records you have on your database onto paper.
Okay.
All right, like what you have here. This is a classic feature report.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. And then we have summary feature reports. Okay. So summary feature reports is whereby do I have an example? Did we create a summary feature report? No.
No.
Let me see what we have here.
We did not create any summary. We ended up only individual.
I think I had some. Okay, let me see here. Oh yes, something like summary report. So okay, it's not there. But what I meant to say was that you want a summary from your database. You want to know like how many dolphins are there, right? How many maybe species you have mapped out, how many of them are dolphins, how many areas have been mapped out, you know. You are doing that, it's just a statistical report, right? With summaries. Nothing deep, just to mostly descriptive, total, average, count, such things. All right.
Okay.
Now, for summary reports, it's usually a single report. Okay. So, for individual reports, you'll have several. Okay. For summary report, it's usually just one. All right. Now, the difference between these two, summary report, most of the time it has aggregated values.
Okay.
Right? We are not focusing on individual. We're just focusing on aggregated values. All right. Now, having understood this,
clear.
Start with individual feature report. Now, under individual feature report, it can be packaged into individual files. All right. So you can have individual report files. All right. So, and this means for every record equals to a report. And then, sorry, this should not be here. And then number two, let me just maybe mention them. Say this is one. All right, and this is two. So number two, this one for number two, so whereby there are individual reports, but each record starts on a new page.
You mean in individual, right?
Yes. We have the
Okay.
first one whereby a single record results into a single report.
Okay.
And then we have a second one whereby here, one record per report file. The first one is one record. One record equals to one report.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second one, you can have all records, all right, but stored, all right, in separate pages inside one file. I'll show you an example of this. I think I have one here. For example, oh, did I close that one? I have a classic one here. Great, like this one here. Okay, so you can see we have a serial number here. Okay.
This is individual, right?
This is individual. This is individual feature report, whereby all records have been summed up, been packaged into one report as different pages.
Okay.
This one. Okay, let me start with the normal one. Okay. Based on this, I don't know whether I can do a snap. So here we have an example whereby it's only one record. Let me pick this. Okay, let me pick the same so that there's a lot of consistency. Let's pick this. Great. How many pages can you see? 2 pages, huh?
Yeah.
Right? So it's test user, this number, okay? And then you can see these are just the details of that single record. Nothing more.
So this is the zoomed in map, right, of that record?
Yes, yes.
Zoomed in location of that record, right?
Yes, this is the zoomed in location of that record. Yes.
Yes.
And okay. I'll still show you how you can narrow down this.
Yeah.
Right? So that it only shows you what you really want and not any other thing. And this is what we were trying to get the other time, but we were not able to do. Like you can see, it's just coming, the sizes are just haphazard, right? You can see this one is small, this one is big.
And one more thing, in the summary report, we will have the same locations with all summary records showing in the map, right? We can have that one, right?
Yes, we are going to have that. It's just a matter of writing your syntax.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. So, depending with what you want to have, let me show you now the second one that has all the records, but packaged as different pages in one report file. So we sorry, this is let me just run this down here. We have this one here, okay? Now these are all the records, but they have been packaged into one report. So you can see the first one will take the first 2 pages.
Okay.
All right, up to household data. This is let's pick something unique. This is enumerator. Let me see. Is there a beneficiary name? No. But you can see enumerator Jonathan. All right.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That is the first record. And then you go through your record and then it ends here. All right. So the next record doesn't start on this page. It starts on a new page. You can see now this one is enumerator Daniel.
Okay.
All right. This is what we mean by this terminology here. It's still a feature report, but now all records but stored in separate pages inside one report.
Which is called summary.
Right? Without summaries.
Yeah.
All right. Mm.
Okay.
Now, when do you need the first and when do you need the second? All right. When you want your like this report is actually tracking data about something. All right. There has to be somebody who's picking the data, and there has to be somebody who owns the data. All right.
Yeah.
So we have the person being enumerated and the enumerator. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the person being enumerated, it can be an organization, it can be anything, it can be a tree, it can be a species, it can be a person, it can be a parcel of land, it can be a property, it can be anything, as long as it has some geographic dimension to it.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So we want to start first. We want to now go back. Now, so when you want to send, like I have a property, I want to receive maybe a legal document about that property. Of course, as a person, as an organization in charge of that data, you'll not send me everything. You'll not send me number 2. You'll send me number 1.
Yeah.
Well, it's only my record in one document.
Yeah.
Okay. And this one is usually very good if you want to email. You can email, you can print it at the office, and then stamp it, like what most people do in the Ministry of Lands. If you have Ministry of Lands that is already digitized, these are some of the things that usually go in. Another thing, it can be your water companies, utility companies, all right? If they're getting new clients into the pipe network, all right, you want them to be there, all right? And some of the things that you get is a cadastral map from the mapping guy or mapping technician. These are things that can be packaged as reports individually, all right? Now, at what point will you need number 2? Okay. Number 3 is usually very good for supervisors. If you are managing an area, a team, a section, you want maybe daily summaries, all right? So you can do daily summaries, you can do weekly summaries, you can do monthly summaries, or depending with that specific time frame that you want to get your report on. Now, what this means is that it's going to get all the records, let's say maybe within the last 7 days. It will only get all the records that has been done or that were captured within the last 7 days. Right? And all these are going to be packaged into one record, right? Unless you say you want them to be stored individually. Okay? Here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Summary reports. Summary reports are not meant for the person being interviewed. They are meant for the supervisors and for the managers. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. And even in hospitals, this thing still works in hospitals. Or you've gone through the medical service, now it's time for you to pay or get your drugs. They will have to print something for you. All right, that will be individual. But at the end of the day, the hospital management needs to know how many patients do we have today. Can we see a list of their records? Yes. Sometimes, most of these managers, there are those who are very good with the system, they work with the system, but there are also those who prefer those physical documents. Okay, those physical reports. So wherever you find yourself, I just want you to know if you are within ArcGIS, it's easy to bring everybody on board.
Yeah.
Right? And the needs of everyone are catered for, whether you are a digital guy or whether you prefer the physical documents for whatever reason it is, you are sorted if you are inside Survey123. Right? So the second point, how do we create this? Right? So maybe let's talk about maybe sharing, report sharing for this. All right. Now, report sharing. Now, number 1, you can print physically.
Okay.
Or manually. Let me call it manually. Whereby, those are not good. On demand. Let's say on demand.
Okay.
All right. So we have on. Okay, sorry
Demand.
about that. On
Demand.
On demand, and mostly this is manual. Okay, this is whereby you go there and there's a button, or maybe there's some few steps that you have to click, some few clicks, and then you generate your report. Okay, and then we have automated.
Okay.
Right? Automated is whereby the reports are automatically generated without a user being involved. All right? Like, for example, once you submit your form, it triggers some actions after that submission. All right? One of the things that you can automate are maybe alerts. All right? But also in ArcGIS, in Survey123, one of the things you can automate, we call them report templates. Report. You can automate the generation of these reports. Okay, so under automation, it can be on form submission. Number two, you can set how do you call it, triggers. Although all of them are triggers, you can say every week, every Saturday at 10 a.m. please prepare this summary report for me, or prepare this feature report for me, and you can either email it or it can sit inside your content library inside ArcGIS.
Or a data storage, or any data storage.
Any data storage that you are going to have, yes.
When
you are configuring it, it will give you those options.
OneDrive, something like that, we can store somewhere in OneDrive.
Yes.
It should on this date, particular date, something like that.
Yes, or this should be periodically.
And it should mention the sheet name as today's date, on which date is today's date, and then something like that.
Yes, it will track it. If you look at the naming conventions within Survey123, I want to see like this report here. I don't know whether that is visible. You can see this is when it was printed.
Okay.
All right, 2024 March, date 2022 at 14:12 hours. That was yesterday in the afternoon.
Okay.
Before our meeting, right? So it will always track this, right? Now, however, you can embed this also into the form itself. Okay, because the reason why I say you can embed this into the form itself is because this report name can be edited, right? This can be edited.
Okay.
So you want it to be like a stamp. All right. You wanted to have some sort of a stamp inside your report that says this was generated.
Can you open this form? I just want to have two things here. Can you open this PDF? Sorry, PDF. Can you go up once? Can you go up?
Yes.
Up. Actually, I want to add a box with a client logo. Okay. Here near any AppsCom, somewhere it is. The AppsComs will be like you are the contractor, let's say. Okay.
Yes.
So that is okay. Now I want to add something for the client logo, because that's client's project, something like that, and a footer. There should be a footer related to our information of the contracting company. In the footer, it should be the same.
Footer. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So you're going for prayer at 12 what?
12:20. 12:20.
Okay. Now let me demystify this. Now the thing of the GIS is about tech. All right. And the thing about tech is, for you to really enjoy tech, you have to first understand how it works. All right. Once you understand how it works, then it becomes, you are able to now use it. Now, with the feature reports, just the same way we've been doing mail merge, you can start from scratch. You can design anything. The only part that you leave out to be dynamic are the data themselves. All right. So like this template, you can start it from scratch. let's do one on, let me open Word document.
Okay, yeah,
now, if you're working with ArcGIS, you make sure that it's a normal Word document file. Let me show you what we had done the other time here under the previous reports.
Yeah, we'll do some scratch one.
Yes, we do one from scratch. It supports the doc. All right.
Yeah.
It supports doc .docx.
Yeah.
Right. Don't use another format. Do not use Excel. Do not use the open format. I don't know why they want to use the open format. They support the normal Word document file from Microsoft. All right. So if it's Google, is it Google Sheets, Google Docs, they are not supported. Only Word, physical Word document files. All right. So you can start from an blank template like this. And then you first create your wireframe of how you want your report to be. Like, for example, let's start with the wireframe here before we can go into the nitty-gritties. So from here, I'm going to say, create, wait, let me see how this is moving on. Okay, it's good. So, procedures. Okay, number one, create a wireframe. A wireframe is just a rough of how you want your report to look like. So from here, you are going to decide whether your report is going to be portrait or landscape. Okay. So that's some of the things that you need to decide. So for me, I'm going maybe to put it as portrait. Okay. Then from there, you decide what things do you want to be featured on your reports, right? Most people will want to have a logo somewhere here.
The client logo. That is the contracting logo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if you have partners, if you're collaborating, you will also want their logos to feature somewhere on your report. Mostly on
the bottom. The top will be the client logo, the bottom will be the contracting logo, contracting
the
company,
collaborators,
the collaborators who worked on that, contractors.
Yes, contractors, right?
With the details.
Different logos, and you can also combine with other things like text. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, once you do that, of course, under the logo part, you can have the physical address. If the address is important to you, you are the one to decide what is important. Do not put unnecessary things on your report. If those things, only put what is necessary to the end user.
Yes, you're right.
And as you're doing that, you ask yourself, what is this report meant to do? If it's legal, then you are going to follow the legal procedures for that particular country.
Yeah.
All right. So like any report, you ask yourself, who is the end user? Who is the consumer of my report? Because different people have different needs when it comes to reports. What you prepare for the client and for your manager might not be the same thing. They all report, they're all coming from the same database, but different needs. So let that just be open. Number two, once you are done with that, for each of your records, you need to have a way of showing a unique identifier. What will uniquely identify each feature report? Okay. Now, this goes back to your data collection. You need to have some form of a unique identifier, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, you need to have some form of a unique identifier for that record so that you do not confuse it with other records. Of course, some of these records might share, all right? For other variables, they might share similarities like gender, like location, right? But then there are those things that are very unique to each observation, right? If it's something that you cannot uniquely observe, all right, like species, you can develop your own way of tracking, like what you've seen, what we've done here. Let's maybe switch back here.
Yeah.
This is custom made based by combining different elements of our record.
Yeah.
So our serial number here, it will pick AppComs, it will pick this number, and then it will pick the user and the user auto-generated number.
Yeah,
right?
that is.
But feel free to customize it to your use case.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Feel free to customize it to your use case.
Yeah.
Right. Now, these serial numbers, you create them inside the form. When you're building a form, that is the time you are configuring this. For example, this one here, let me show you where it is. Inside the original form. Yeah.
So the serial number will be something like that. Okay, let's see how it is.
It's here. It was the last one. It's called instance tag.
Okay.
Right? And on the calculate column, we should be able to see that formula. Calculate should be behind it.
Yeah, below, before.
Before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here. Okay. You can see it's here.
So just explain me what we did, just so I can recall.
Okay, let me have it somewhere here.
Software it is. This is very nice. The training one. What is the name of this one?
Pardon? This?
What this? Yeah, this tool. This tool.
It's Microsoft Board.
Okay, it's Microsoft Word. Okay.
Yes. If you have this new generation computers that allows you to with touch screens.
Yeah, I have touch screen itself. Maybe I do have that one. Maybe I do have
under
it.
whiteboard. All right.
Okay.
If you don't find it there, you should be able to find it inside a normal Word document under Draw.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah,
No worries.
yeah.
Okay. 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 Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Under Draw. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can still, in Word, you can still draw with your mouse. Okay? But you can still use the stylus. So this is mouse, and this is the stylus.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Right. Let's switch back. Great. Let me explain this now. Concat. Concat is used to just combine text, blocks of text, different blocks of text. So it's very good whenever you want to build custom unique identifiers that are following a particular convention. Right? Like for this one here, you can see it was custom ID. Right? We had created a custom ID somewhere. We are concatenating. So under concat, anything you separate, this comma, wherever they see this comma, it understands it has to join custom ID to this / comma, join again to the name of the beneficiary, comma, and the day this record was captured or start date, the start time.
Okay.
That's what is now resulting to what you can see here.
Okay, the AppsCom 133124 is the unique name, and the test user is. Can we just go?
Is the username. It's now the username. The test user is the user.
Username of the Survey123 form, or the Survey123 credentials you mean?
No. When you're creating unique identifiers for each form, it has to it requires to pick the element that you are surveying on, right? Not the name of the surveyor. So if it was a piece of land, or maybe, yeah, if it was a piece of land, then you can maybe be picking the land registration number of that piece of land.
Can you just
That's what
we see can we just see this custom ID and name of the beneficiary in the form, just to
okay.
understand,
Okay.
just to understand myself.
Great. It's a good one. Now, one of the things that we did in our last session was how do we create unique identifiers? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start from. Yeah. I'll use blue.
It's not visible. Okay.
Better?
Yeah, better. Clear.
There. So we have generate numeric number, generates numeric ID of the beneficiary. Right?
Yes.
This is going to be numeric. It doesn't have text. So the way we do it is from your calculate function, a calculate column here. All right. All unique IDs are calculate. All right. It cannot be the supported question type for unique IDs are calculate, especially the ones that are being auto-generated. All right, they are calculated because you do not want human intervention when you are creating your generated IDs because it can cause duplicates.
Yeah.
You want everything to be handled through your algorithm.
Yes.
Right. So we have integer is just
once.
Yes.
Integer
so,
once. Okay.
Random
value.
So up to this part, let me talk about this. Let me have it here. Let me push it up somewhere here. Auto-generated unique IDs. Okay. There. And then okay. Now, from this part here, this.
Okay.
The once function. So the once function is just written like once, like that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what once means. Once means it should not be repeated. So whatever goes in here should not be repeated.
Yeah,
right?
Understood.
Then we use random, the random function. Now
it's the random value.
Yes, it's a random value. And the way you generate through algorithm, unless AI has a better way of doing it, which I believe they should have, but normally the way we've been doing it, to get random numbers, you can't get it when it's a whole number. It has to be a decimal number. So when you say random, this one will give you a 0 point, and then you can start, depending with what you want.
Okay, so that value will be, the random value will be 0.012345. Okay.
Yes.
And it is being multiplied with the decimals available here.
Yes. Right?
All right.
This is what you are seeing from here.
Yeah.
Okay. So this value is going to be a decimal number. Yes, it's going to be a decimal number. But because we are humans, we don't work well with the decimal numbers. We also, decimal number, when it comes to IDs, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you multiply by the number of digits you wish your ID to have. Right? So here I'm using this, this should be 10 million. This is 10 million. Now, the way you determine the number of digits. So let's say you are looking maybe for a 6-digit unique ID, right? You multiply here, that's going to be 1 million, all right? You can just put maybe 10 million, okay?
Okay.
Yes, you can put 10 million. Now, this is going to end up with some, depending with what it is. Now, it's still going to be a whole number with a decimal part.
Okay.
Right? The way we get rid of the decimal part is to wrap it inside the int function. Now we wrap inside the
int function.
Yes. You now take everything and wrap it inside the int function. It will get rid of your decimal part here. At the end of the day, your ID is going to be numeric.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Now, circling back here, the second type of ID, let's go back to our survey form. That's what is happening here.
Understood. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Now, when you work with numbers, when you're working with unique numbers, sometimes this decimal, sometimes you'll find it has gone. How many decimal places?
Yeah.
Zeros, 3.
Yes.
And then
yes.
we can even maybe say this one is 7, 8, 4, 3, 5, 1. All right. So by default, you can see if I'm going to multiply by 10,000, it's going by 10 million, it will end somewhere here. Okay. I'll explain what is happening here. All right. So this will not be a full, it won't be a full what? It's not going to be a full 6-digit ID. All right. So these are some of the things you need to watch out for. So what do we do? All right. You can increase this number here. All right. You can increase this number here. Like for my case, I usually make sure that at least the number that I'm multiplying here can cater for at least 3 decimal parts. 1, 2, 3. So can add 1, 2, 3. Somebody will say, but are we not going to have other numbers that have more than 6 digits? Yes, we're going to have other numbers that are going to be more than 6 digits. So how do we now normalize everything? We use the substring function, right? This substring, let me show you the way it is. The substring function, this one here.
Okay.
All right. So this substring function, let me just copy it and then explain what it does. The substring function this part here, it will take this value here, the generic numeric ID, all right? And then it's going to, this is what it's going to do, all right? From 0, right? Like this one here. Now you have multiplied by 10,000. Now this is the value.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That is your value, all right? Some several billions. From the first character, from 1,
okay.
Right? This 0, we don't say 1. In algorithm, we start programmatically, instead of saying start from position 1, we say
just one doubt, Daniel. Do you have experience with regex?
Yes, you also want to understand regex. Yes, I can also teach you on regex.
Yes, after these sections we will have one regex sessions also. Okay, not now, later. I just want to. Okay.
Yes. Now let me just wind up. I was winding up this. So
yes.
Then
not now. Complete course is completed later, not now.
Okay. I'll prepare for that then. Then this 6, it will count from the first number here. 1, 2, 3, and find the 6 characters that we're looking for, and then it's going to truncate anything after that, and then pick this action.
Understood. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Maybe in
So,
future, the reason why you can say, but if I'm working with an application that is being powered by a database, right? Yes, databases are very good, but databases don't have the capacity to work offline. Right? So if for these IDs, if you're going to capture data while you're online, then you can use the automated one for the database. But if you're going to work offline, then it means, and if you're also working as a huge team, also offline, it means if you go the database way, it's not going to be possible, right? And if you decide maybe you're going to end up with the duplicate IDs, right? Duplicate IDs. That's why we prefer to have it like this so that there are no duplicates. Great. Now let's go back to the procedure. So we were talking about the unique identifier, right? Or do you want me to finish up with this unique IDs? Now we also have text IDs, right? Text IDs. Text IDs now within ArcGIS is very much straightforward. For text IDs, you work with something called form ID. Right? Form ID is usually this. Right? It's usually a very strong string of numbers, a combination of letters and numbers that usually used to track your form. Okay. So the way you do it is to write a function that will just, you can either pick the entire thing, but sometimes it can be very long. This is how we do the workaround. Here, text ID, you work with this UUID. Right? This UUID is a function that is used to generate text IDs, not numbers, right? So from here, you can have it here. Okay, so you declare UUID. So by default, it's just UUID. And then this here, between the brackets, you now give the number of characters you want your IDs to have. All right, so if you say 6, it's going to look at each form ID. And when I'm talking about form ID, I'm meaning the submissions. Every form that you fill will generate this unique form ID. All right. So if you have 5 submissions, you're going to end up with 5 different unique.
Okay.
Like this. Okay. Yes. So for every submission, although we also have one that tracks the form name itself.
Okay.
And then we have the submission. I don't know why they still call it form ID, but for me, I call it submission, but it's the same thing. So each form that you are submitting by default comes with a text, auto-generated text ID. If you're okay with the text ID, you can go ahead and leverage it. But sometimes your project require you to build your own custom IDs. That's why we are painstakingly trying to see how this is configured. All right. So this one, you just pick the first 6. Right, the first 10, depending with how many you have placed. And then, of course, we have the custom one. Right, the custom one, you use concat. You do a combination of the numeric one, the
substring one,
on the text one, yes. And then you combine it through concat. Like you can see here, to generate a customer ID, I'm doing concat of the word AppComs hyphen, and then the numeric ID, which was here. This one here. Right? And then dynamic ID, the one that keeps changing. If you want to create one that keeps changing based on how the user is entering data, you use substring. Substring can also be used with text values. All right. If you don't want to use UUID, you can say substring and then form ID for this, but this is quite simple. So you can see here, this one, if I change the county, also the name changes, the ID changes. If I change the sub-county, the ID changes. All right. So to wrap it up, use concat and you separate it through commas.
Okay. So okay. So
Yes.
concat substring. Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. And that was what was you. Okay, let me talk about concat now that we are here.
Can you just show me how it looks, the number when it is generated?
Oh, yes, yes. When it's generated, let's look at the form. I'm going just to fill in some. I'll just say yes, and then we'll pick some county.
In the beginning. Okay.
I'll pick maybe here a date. Pick a date.
Yeah, it's already taken the date.
Oh, the date has already been taken, and it has. I'll pick something like Mombasa. I'll come here, pick sub-county. Oh. Wow, okay, it's not picking that.
No problem, no problem.
But it has picked Nairobi and the date. So your custom ID is here. It has generated. Your beneficiary ID is here. You can see it's picking Nairobi, although it's leaving out the sub-county.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. If I come and pick a different one, like let's say Western, right? Your ID should also have the capacity to change. Is it? Where did it go? Oh, yeah, it's here. Right?
Yeah,
here.
Yeah. Okay. First 3 characters. We are looking only. We are taking only first 3 characters of the county. Of county.
Exactly. All right. That's what we mean by this function that you see here.
Okay, concat substring plus county 3 characters slash substring subcounty also 3 characters. Okay, slash numeric ID. Okay. Okay.
I think we are at the end.
Understood.
Understood?
Yeah, understood. So what we are doing is concatenating with substring with county 3 values, then slash is subcounty 3 values, and the numeric ID generated is being taken here. So it will be as, let's say, NAI Nairobi slash west. Just I'm telling you, west 3 characters WES slash a numeric ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something like that.
Wonderful.
This is what I'm thinking. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, clear. Very
All
clear.
right. Okay. The remaining minutes might not be enough for us to have a feature report. So I'll request that for the morning session to end here, and then we meet.
Yes. We'll start in the afternoon. Okay, 2:30 or 2:03. What do you suggest?
2:30 is fine.
Okay, so but till 4:10 I will be available. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, because at 4:15 I have to go, so I need to be.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Daniel.
All right. See you in the afternoon.
See you in the afternoon. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now let me make you the host. Did you download that one? Yeah, you are the host.
Yeah. Yes, I did download it.
Yes.
Immediately. One thing with those codes, they usually have an expiry period. So I had to download it immediately.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, great. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see the screen now.
All right.
So I'll be available till 4:10, huh?
Okay, up to 4:10. That's okay. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Do we put a timer? We can also put a timer.
No.
Okay, great.
Actually, my friend is coming. Actually, my friend is coming. He's dropping his kids with me. He's going for prayer. Okay, so he and his wife. So 2 kids are there. One is 2 years and one is 5 years. So both will stay with me. So I need to be with them like a baby.
Great. Say hi to them.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Back to the technical things.
Yes.
All right. So, like we had agreed in our morning session, we were handling feature reports. All right. And just like we had said that there are two types of reports. All right. We have the individual report and then we have the summary report. Okay. So, we had seen the different ways you can leverage this concept, this functionality. What I want us now to look at is now get the juice, right? Knowing the reports is good, but also being able to set up those custom reports is what now makes the difference, all right? So, like we had said, feature reports allows you to create custom reports. You can format it anyhow you want, all right? Now, let's see what makes up the report components before even set up this wireframe, okay? Now, I don't know whether you can see this properly. Let me just zoom it in, okay? So initially, I had shown you two types of reports. One was a template and the other one was the exported report from just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So this is our template. You can see this is the template that we have already prepared. And you can see there are a number of things. Some are custom, some are coming from our database. All right. And from what you can see here, okay, this report here, okay, is the one that has been used to generate this other one here, this output here. All right. Yes. So how do we get from here to this one here? Or maybe just something more for the benefit, right? Like this one, I got it from another resource, but it's much, I hope it should be able to help us understand these concepts. Okay. So this one is I got it from the SU resource. Okay. I think it's media
Nice.
something.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. These days, they try to document what they do through videos, which is actually a very good thing. Back in the day, they just used to write a lot of text. Anyway, so you can see here we have our template. So when you're working with the reports, you need to understand we have a report template. And this is the template that we feed into our ArcGIS Survey123. All right. And then it uses it to produce or to churn out or to feed data into that template. Right. So this was our template in Word document. And then the report here, this report in should be PDF.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now we have two major components when it comes to preparing your report template. Number one, you need to decide what type of report are you building. Are you building an individual report, all right, or are you building a summary report? Okay. Now, when you're building a report, I want you to remember that this report is supposed to, to mirror what you had collected using your forms in Survey123, all right? Now, most of the knowledge that you had acquired while designing your forms is also going to come in handy in here. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Like, for example, here you can see, let me zoom in one more. You can see here, we have asset ID. I don't know, is it big enough? Okay, better. We have asset ID here, all right? And then we have asset ID here. So this one is a template, and this is the output, all right? Now, we have those values that are starting with the $sign. Okay.
Okay.
This dollar sign, it refers to whatever. So we have static content and then we have dynamic content.
Yeah.
Static content is like this one here, the word asset ID, the word owner. That one is static, it doesn't change. Right? But we want, based on how many records we have, we want the asset ID, this part here, to be dynamic. All right? So that depending with how many records we have, it should be able to change from this value to a different value.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
Here, like we have owner here is public, it can still be private. Status here is good, it can still be, bad or needs repair or something like that. Okay. Now, just taking us a notch higher, back to what we've been working with here. So you can see under serial here, the serial number is dynamic and it's referencing the instance tag. Okay. This particular instance tag, just a minute. Okay, there. Is here, all right? I should have maybe split it, but let's just work with this. All right, so you have it there. It's dynamic. So if you go to another record, this should be different, right?
Okay.
Then we have our logo. Our logo is static.
Okay.
All right. So here we decided you need to bring it in now. We had said that we're going to do it from scratch. All right. So let me open up.
New Word document.
Yes. Great, like that. Okay. So the first thing that we want to start with that header. All right. So we topped. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see, yes.
Okay, let it stay like that. Now, at this point, you can also, I'm not going to go directly into fonts, but I'll just show you how to set up this. So we have the serial number, okay? And in here, we need to reference something from our form, all right? On our form, we have a tag, all right? I don't know, my survey123 has closed. Let's see. Okay, no need to waste time by going there, but you understand that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we're going to reference that tag, and the way you reference any type of dynamic data that you want to bring onto your template, you have to reference it or to refer to it by using the dollar sign.
Okay.
Right, and the curly brackets. Right.
Okay.
So we had the instance tag. Let me just open up that so that is easier for us. Great. So while you're working with this, if you have access to your XLS form, this is the best time to work with it. All right. But still, if you don't know how to get those instance tags, you can download a template from ArcGIS. It will have with all the things that you need. All right. You can see you have a map. You can edit the form. You can share, you can analyze, and then you can look at the data, and then you can access the other elements. Anyway, we're interested in the data because that's where we get our reports. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, that's opening up. All right. So I was just showing you where you can get your tags, but it's much easier if you just download your XLS form and then work with it. But it will depend with you. How do you want to have it? Okay. Now, for my case, if I was going to build this, all right, I'm much better off working with my XLS form, right? So we have our template here, right? And then we had our XLS form somewhere. Just open it like this.
Okay.
Great. And in here, we had something that was tracking the unique ID for each.
Yes.
And it's here.
Yeah, I
okay.
understand that.
Yes, it's called the instance tag. So you want to pick this, and then you want to switch to where you have this, and then you can paste it there. And
Okay.
then based on how you want to organize this, I'll say, yes, let me adjust it maybe to
center.
Center.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just a minute. Let me pin this here. Great. So like this. All right. Now, if you leave it formatting, you are the one to also control formatting. Whatever color you assign will also be respected by ArcGIS report engine. So like here, we have it in this format. All right. If you wanted to, maybe we can bold it, then it's going to be bold. If you wanted to change the font type, you can change it. That's the normal way you'll work with your Word documents. Now, for your dynamic content, like this, if you leave it like this, it's going to assume this size of Calibri font size 11. Okay? If you needed it to have a different font, then you also do it from here. Okay? Yes. So, like for example, I wanted maybe this tag to be blue. All right. So what do? You simply just highlight the $sign. All right. I don't see this $sign, and you give it. Let's give it maybe something like red. All right.
Okay.
So whatever will come after this instance tag is going to be red. So it's going to be serial in black, and then whatever is following is going to be red.
Okay, clear.
Yes, if you also want it to be bold, italics, you just do underline. That's what you do.
Okay, normal. Okay.
Yes, normally.
Okay.
Any questions to there? Now we're going to bring in now the other elements. Now that maybe if you had maybe the footer also your images. There are those images that will go to your header, your footer, and all those.
Yes. So how can we add the image here? Just show me that one also.
Yes.
The two images.
Yes.
On the top left will be AppsCom. On the top, no, on the top will be the client, any logo. In the bottom will be of AppsCom and its details, something like that. We'll keep.
Okay. Let me just retrieve it. Something here.
Yeah, any logo you can pick.
Let me just pick this and then you paste it. Just use a normal paste. All right.
Okay.
Just make sure that everything is balanced. Just a minute. Okay, there. There. Make sure to resize so that it fits the way you had hoped it to fit. And then this, I'll just need it to be dynamic so that I can easily move it. Great. There. All right. If you want it on top here, also make sure to have it on top. But most of the time, you'll want to look to preview your report template with the data so that you see how it's. Yes. Now, you can include tables. You can also opt not to have tables. It's up to you to decide how you want to have it. But tables are a great way to report your data.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Great. So the next element, if maybe look at this, you need to like this part here. All right.
Yeah.
This is the address. I thought it changed. So we're just going to also update that.
Just copy paste.
Yes, you can do copy paste. Okay, I'll say. Okay. All right. Of course.
All right. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Something like that. All right. Great. And then we come to the next one. We have a table here. Okay.
Yeah.
It is our job to decide how it's going to be formatted. So I'm just going
Yeah.
to start off with a very simple table. All right.
Okay.
So from this table, you can come here, go to insert, and then it say table. All right. You can pick any number of, depending with what you want. Now, in most cases, let me maybe just briefly talk about this. I don't want to go into it, but let me just mention it. If you look at this, all right, we have here, it's partitioned into 3, and then 1, 3, this one is 4, like that, all right? So when you are working with the tables, and this will go for any other type of design you'll be doing, whether it's for your report or whether it's for the dashboards or whether it's for an app or for a website, there's a way you make use of your space, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
whenever you are creating any dashboard, this is just basics, huh? So, oops. Okay. Okay. So most of the time, your space will come like this. This is landscape, and then we have portrait. You can also have portrait somewhere. Let me maybe have it here. Okay. Now the rule is organize your space into grids. All right. So ideally, most of your pages will be organized like this. Okay. So you have these 3 partitions. Okay, you have the first partition, the second, the third, and then we have the first layer, the second layer, and the third layer. So as you're organizing your elements, it should try and achieve or resonate with this, right? For your portrait, you can have it anyhow you want, but also if you decide to also go this, you can still just divide it into 2, and then you can have as many sectors as you want. All right. So maybe let me change the color. Most people prefer to have a title bar like this, like how we've had for our use case.
Yes.
Right. And then you can organize your report elements in this manner. All right. So the way we usually read our report is that we read it this way. By default, this is how people read reports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once you are done, you come again to this, right?
Yeah.
Also, there are those who might want to read it like this, right? So, anyhow, if you decide to go with this, make sure that it also comes, right? So that there is a flow. Yes, there is a flow, right? So you're either doing it like this, or like this.
Okay.
Right? Very good. Now, having that in mind, we'll come back here, right? So we insert our table, right? So I'll just pick maybe 3 like this and then insert. You can have as many as you want, eh? We are not limiting you to only this.
So
right?
just a minute. Can you take our
Yes.
previous report table? No, not this one. Previous already which was done before.
Oh yes, here.
No, not this one. The other Word document. It was done. The other Word document. The previous report. Yeah. So here,
okay.
No, just I
This
want to
one here.
understand. Yeah, this one the same. Yeah. Here I just want to understand here. Oh, okay, just a minute. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2.
We
Sorry.
have some that have more than one here, like here.
Yeah. So how you have done this one automatically? Is there anything? Just normal procedure, right?
Normal procedures of working with the table. It's just that this time we have a way of doing it. It's fetching data from our database, right?
Okay.
Now, let me do it the first part, then it will become clear.
Yeah. Just I want to know about the tables. How you have added 4 and up it is 3 and somewhere it is 2. So I just want to know that one. That's it.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
for your tables, you see your tables. This can also be easily achieved inside Excel.
Okay.
Okay. If you're having issues with Excel, if you know how to create tables in Excel, then we recommend that you have it in Excel and then you import it into Word. But still, I'll show you from Word. All right. So from Word, once you insert your tables, let me complete the first one. So I'll come here, look at where your cursor is.
Okay.
You come to insert, and then we have this table icon here. Pick the number of rows that you like according to you. I'll maybe even pick up to here.
Okay.
And then this is 3 by 8. Okay. Let me have it by 3 by 6 like that. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to have just a minute.
One single row. Merge.
Yes, like this. So you merge the first row, all right, by selecting merge cells, and then you can give it any type of color that you want, depending with what you are trying to achieve, right? So like I've given it that. Let's go deeper. Let's try that one, right? And then in here, I'll type my text, all right? I already know that is a form, so it's beneficiary form, okay? It's a beneficiary. Oh, just give me a minute. Power.
Sorry?
Okay. Oh, no, we are back. Huh? So there. Beneficiary.
Form.
Can just call it report.
Okay.
Yes. And then you still play you can still format the colors to your liking.
Yeah.
Right there, I'll have it like that. Maybe you give it a white color or something like that. Right now, we have the start time, the end, and the device ID. Right. So in here on your form, just type the start. Let me not make it bold. Start time. Under start time, this is the static part, right? So we need to add the dynamic part, right? You can have it in front like this. Like for my case, I'll say $, open bracket and close bracket. And then from my form, I have there that is picking the start. It's a metadata, start, end, or any other. If it was a date of registration, you can have it there, right? Yes, or the date of birth, depending with what you have inside your form. Okay, so here we'll just go with
start.
Yes, start. I'll just type here, start. Now, if I wanted this start to have a different color, all right, then dollar. Yes, and then you give it the color of choice that you want it to have.
Okay.
You can do that, or you can just do for the entire thing like that. It will still pick it. All right.
Okay.
The most important thing is that while you are signing that, oh, sorry, not like that.
Only dollar.
Just a minute. I need to make some correction. The font color, not this color, the font color. So here is a font color.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So we pick it from there and give it the color that we want.
Okay, okay, okay.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. So you work your way through your report, right? One by one. We also have end, we have device ID. So the drill is the same. Just copy that. Now, instead of like here, you can see start time. You can change this to whatever you want. You can name this from end to whatever you want. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, if you want it to be in one line, make sure it's also reflected there.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to have this in one line, I'll have it like that. And then this color, we'll give it the color that we need.
Okay, clear.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you are. Right. And then you come to the next part here. Right. A minimum of one form per child. If you feel this is necessary to have in your report, then have it. If you feel it's a waste of space, you can leave it out.
Okay.
All right. Like for me here, I might want to have it like there, but I can still leave it out. But let's just have it there. So the next row is the drill is the same for the next row. Okay. You merge. Just a minute. Let me size. Okay. Oh, they are different. Oh, okay, okay. That's why I was wondering why it's not picking. All right, there then. So you merge your. Can I use short? If you're good with shortcuts, please by all means, use shortcuts.
No problem. You can use it. I'm aware of that one. You can use it.
Okay, 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 okay. All right. So again, you also merge that one. All right. Just a minute. Table design. Where do you get merge?
Match?
Should be under table design.
You mean
Yeah,
the size?
yeah, merge cells. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you also insert your text.
Okay.
So let me, to save time, I'm just going to do some little bit of copy and paste.
Yes. Okay. Clear. Center.
Enter. And then you now come to enumerator ID, the date. Let me just pick it.
Yeah, this copy paste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Later on, you'll just fine tune things, but just make sure.
Yeah. I will do it. Just I want to understand the same workflow. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Now, something about the date. Okay. Something about the date. If you are working, there's something we call the local or the locale, but it has to do with the date. So sometimes your date might not print out properly, right? But you can see for our case, it's printing it properly, right?
Yeah.
Now, you have to understand something. by default, your server, the server that you are using, might not be originally be opened in your, might not have been originally been configured in your geographic location. Different geographic locations will have different time differences. Okay. Now, while you are doing this, like this one is defaulting to the server local, right? To the ArcGIS server local. Now, if you wanted to change it, let's say maybe somebody who is in the West and another one is in the Far East, these are very good scenarios where you can use local so that the time difference is taken care of. Okay. Now, to do that, if you don't specify that, it will use the local of the server or the time of the server. So from here, where is the hours is this? You introduce something here on your server. We are going to introduce something under our date, and this goes to when you are working with the dates, right? When you're working with the dates, just a minute, I think I had something. No, I don't have it here, but it's okay. I'll just type it.
No problem.
So here, just within the dollar sign, within the parentheses, all right? You'll come like this, put a space, a pipe sign, right? The pipe sign, and then you'll declare the local, all right? Full colon, all right? Two of those opening brackets, all right? So if you're in the US, you can say US. If you're in Kenya, you can say Kenya. If you're in Saudi is SA.
Okay.
All right. If you're in Pakistan, you say Pakistan. If you're in Yemen, you also pick the code for Yemen. I'm in Kenya, I can pick Kenya.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yes. This will just make sure your date is presented properly.
We should mention only 2 letters, or complete Kenya we have to mention?
I think it's 2 letters as of now. It's 2 letters.
Okay.
Unless they have changed. The international standard is 2 letters. Huh? Like for US, it's like this. Now, if you're not sure, please just you can come here and you say date local for if like if you're looking for Saudi Arabia, we say Saudi Arabia. I don't know if you guys are already using generative AI. It's a very quick way, especially if you're in research.
Local, yeah, here it is. ARSA.
It's SA. Okay.
Yeah, SA, capital SA. Yeah.
Yes. So you can also work with that, right? So for Kenya, it should be KE and all that. So I can have it here like SA.
Okay. SA, yeah.
Yeah.
SA. Okay.
Let me just copy this part also. All right. Yes, like that. Device ID can remain the way it is. The others can remain the way they are. Okay. Questions, the questions themselves. Okay. So like here, we still come here and match. Okay. Then I can just type here.
Question.
Now we pick this. Date, you can see we have question A for date, have it there. And then just reference it. Question B.
Hello, Bandhu bhai.
Okay. Now, if you look at this, okay, you can see we needed to split it into 4 parts. All right. Now, how do you decide how many partitions for you are going to have? Right?
Yes.
Okay. The true answer is that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? The type of data that you have is going to detect how you configure or how you fine tune. Right? There are those that will only handle maybe 3, others can handle 4, others can only handle 1. All right. So for our case here, let's say we want to add an additional column. All right. If you were in Excel, this would have been easy. But here, this is what you do. Okay. This is what you do. Just a minute. Like I have this cell here. Okay.
So here there are 4, right? So how you are adding 4 here?
So we are going to split, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. We'll just split this cell here.
Okay.
And then we say how many columns? We need 2 columns. How many rows? 1 row. Merge cells before split. Yes, okay. There.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you now end up with that one, and then we can now call the third one the village. All right, like that. Any question up to there?
No. Clear and perfect.
Now we come to the next part. Now we need to add more. Add more.
Just copy paste those. Those are understandable.
Yes. Let me just do the batch one. Okay, I'll just copy the entire.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay.
Okay. And then we merge this. Okay. Now, in this case, it's only 2, right? Now, we have this unnecessary cell here, right? So for this cell, it's quite easy. So what you are going to do is that I'll highlight it the way it is like this, and this, and then we merge cells like this. So we end up with these 2. Now, if I wanted to like here, you remember what we had said? I'm going to maybe partition this like this. Now, you can see it's not doing anything. Okay.
What partition?
You highlight. I want this cell to balance with this. So far, you can see it's not balanced, but we recommend trying to balance off. Like here, you can see here, it's not well balanced. So you will want to balance these cells properly.
Okay.
So you first highlight the cell, the row, highlight everything on that row.
Okay.
Right? And then put your cursor on the boundaries here where you have your lines, and then you can balance them off like this to your liking.
Okay.
Same thing will also go for this part here down here. So I'll try and balance this to the middle, like so.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Yes. Great. So GPS. Now let's talk a little bit about the GPS. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll just say capture GPS. Okay. So let's see.
So this should be the zoomed in.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we have our GPS here, and by the look of things, it's only occupying one. So we'll merge this again. There. Now on the GPS, all right? So you do not want the map to just be any size. You can dictate or you can control the size of your map.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you wanted to control the size of your map, just inside this $sign point, just the same way we're done for time here. Yes, yes. You do another type sign. All right.
Okay.
And you name this size. And this also goes the same thing for photo. Right?
Okay.
So for your size, of course, your map is going to be an image on your report. So it's going to benefit from the size. So let's say I'm looking maybe for, what size can we do?
Same size we have the previous one.
Okay, we can do, let me just say 420, all right? By, hope 420 is not big. Maybe let me do 240. Let me do 240. 240 by 240. Like that. But you can still change this size.
Okay.
Okay. You can still change the size. Now, you remember you had mentioned, I want to see the individual point, and then I want to also see that point in relation to what else are or other features that have been mapped on that map.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's say if you have a base map for all the areas that have already currently been mapped, and that is a feature that comes with Survey123. Every time you pick a GPS coordinate or you pick a spatial data set, it creates a feature map or it creates a web map. This map can be used on your dashboard. It can be used also on your apps that are being done by Experience and Hub. Yeah, and also you can also reference that map into your individual mobile app for your phone.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, maybe let me showcase something here. I think we'll benefit from it. Okay, you can see, actually it's 400. You can say 400. Let me change that to 400.
400 is to 0.
Yes. All right, and these are pixel. These are when you see this is pixel size. It's not inches. Okay. It's in relation to the size of the screen. We measure it by pixels.
Okay.
Yes. Now, before we go into the nitty-gritties, we have not yet talked about feature maps, but we're going to talk about feature maps, right? Later at an advanced stage of this report, right? Okay. And also how, if I'm working with the mobile app, all right? Yeah. I want to be able to access a map of what is being mapped by the entire team, or like the entire map on our geo database. What data do we have? Am I able to access it from my Survey123 field app? Yes, it's very possible. And it's also going to be dynamic. As new data is coming in, that map is also going to be updated. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Yes, it saves you a lot of back and forth.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you said for what? 450.
Okay.
Huh?
400 is to 0.
Yes. Now, I think the remaining time is able to handle the picture and repeat groups. All right. Yeah. Now, if you have repeat groups, and this is where I think most people usually, for lack of a better word, is struggle, but not really struggle, is how do you configure repeat groups on your reports? Okay, so for repeat groups, the first thing that you want to do, you'll just continue with the same one, like what we have here, right? Let me just maybe copy this and have it here.
Okay, understood.
Okay, I'm trying to save time.
No problem. Just
Now, you can continue all this on the same, like me, I'm going to continue this here. If you want to, you can use this one table, or you can still split them into different tables. Okay. So if I wanted to, maybe, let's say I felt like I needed to split this into a different table, then I can have it
very
like
clear.
so. Okay. Maybe push it to the next page. Okay, there. Now, every time, if you're working with the repeat groups, all right, let me just go back, switch back here. Repeat groups have a unique way in which you handle them. So, okay, so your repeat blocks, they call it blocks, all right? This is the repeat data. Remember, it's a roster, all right? So the way you do it, the name, the group name, all right? The group name has to come before. Like for a case here on this data set here for beneficiary, our repeat group is here, right? And it's called household data. From the name, yes, it's called household data, right? So this, you'll need this group name to just denote that this is a repeat group. So when you go back to your template here, okay, you'll see from the first household data, then we developed our table. Then we assigned the first question that was name, was gender, was age. Now, one rule is that you are going to $sign before you declare this part here for B1 name. You first declare the group, the repeat group name here.
Okay.
Right, like that. And you make sure in front of it, the seem to be clumsy, but it's all right. You add. Now remember, this is we have two of them here. Let me just a minute. Let me make it big. There. So I've declared the group. All right. So every time you want to declare the elements of a repeat group, you first type inside. Yes, it's first tied inside the tag, the group name tag. So the group name tag, of course, like any other, will start with the $sign. Okay, the $sign. And let me just copy this so that we are fast about it. Here, Control C, and then just have it here. Okay. Okay. And then you also need to have an end tag. All right. An end tag will look like this. Let me show you. Like this also. This is the end tag here.
Okay.
Okay. Is it making sense now?
Okay. So it is in the beginning will be that top row and end will be the last row. You say?
Yes, exactly.
So begin and end, something like that. Begin, repeat, end, repeat.
Yes. So begin, repeat, end, repeat. All right. And I want you to notice how the name tags are done. All right. So you can have it like this $sign, and then you end it. Or you can remove this part like this and just have it like that. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Now, like here, the first column here, make sure as you're doing the first column, your group tag, your repeat group tag should come here without any space, or you can just maybe do a single space, but it will still understand. And then you do now the question tag here, and then you continue. Now, as you're doing this, make sure in between here, you only have questions that belong to that group.
Okay.
All right. Do not put anything that is outside this group. Like for example, here, if we visit again here. So what should go between the tags should be any of this.
Yeah.
All right.
Only
Nothing
those.
outside. Yes. Like you can see household size, it's outside. So if you put it here, it will go
not
for
work.
tags. Yes, it will not work.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
All right.
Any question up to that bit?
No, it's clear. So Daniel, so shall we start tomorrow from here?
Yes, yes. From tomorrow, we just upload this, and then we look at summary reports, how you can also combine some of this, and also with your summaries, and of course the automation then.
Yes, yes, sure.
Great.
Tomorrow we'll do. Tomorrow
All right.
I'll be there. So just send me the files what we have covered yesterday and today, with the dates, or with the dates, subject in the date like yesterday, yesterday date, and the topic we covered, and today's date, topic covered. 2 emails, okay?
Okay, I'll do that right away.
Yes, so I'm going now.
Thank you so much, brother, and have a lovely session, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay. Also, please remember to also share the link.
Yeah, no problem. I'll share you the link. You mean the today's session link, right?
So sorry, I'm really insisting on the videos. Is that our internal rules, our internal protocols stipulate that we need to have them for quality control.
No problem with that. I will be uploading for you. No problem.
Okay. It's nothing big. It's just for our internal purposes.
No problem. No problem. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir, and see you tomorrow. All right.